Hi everyone, I just wanted to have a quick chat with you about kettlebells. I get asked about them quite a lot, and they're something that I use in my training all the time. I use these every day. They're a staple part of my gym and a staple part of who I am really. Kettlebells are my thing. So I thought I'd do a little video explaining a little bit about them, and if you're new to bells, hopefully this gives you an insight as to what to buy, what to look for, etc. I use competition bells. These are the bells in the background here. You can see they're all quite large in size. They are large like that because they are used in competitions, so they all need to be like a unified size. So that includes the handle as well, the diameter of the base. They're quite wide, they're really quite a big kettlebell. And the height of the handle here, this is really important, this is always the same. The width of the handles is always the same, and that just means that when you're using the bells, no matter what weight it is, they will always feel the same in competition. When you're using a kettlebell, you want to make sure that the handle height is good. So from here to here, it's nice, a big enough space for you to get your hand through in that clean position. So that's what you need to look for. If you've got a small gap here, it will really restrict how you get the hand through the bell, and it won't move very well, and it will keep your wrist in a position like that rather than a straight position. You want to be able to get it diagonally across the bell, so the bell sits kind of here on the arm, depending on how big your hand is, but it should just sit on the back of the arm nicely like that, diagonally through the handle. So handle height is really important. That's what you need to look for in a bell. There's another kettlebell you can get, a Russian kettlebell. The handle is slightly taller and the bell's a little bit smaller. They're good for doing double work. If you want to go through the legs with those, they feel a little bit smaller. Sometimes when you're doing two double bells of competition, you have to go a bit wider, but it just depends on what you want to get used to. Some people prefer them. I actually just prefer this way. You can do more with them, and if you're doing over the bell work, like renegade rows and stuff, the base and the size of these is much better. You can go over the top of them and the bell's not going to wobble or fall over. Some of the supermarket ones, they're really crap. The handles are crap, you can't get your hand through it. If you can't do this with a bell and rest it nicely in the elbow like that, then don't buy it. Secondly, about the handles and about the material, these are all cast iron. I wouldn't really buy anything else. The handles are nice and smooth. Make sure you've got a nice smooth handle on the bell. Don't buy neoprene coated ones where the handle's covered in plastic or neoprene. They will stick to your hands and they will just rip your hands to shreds as you do more repetition work with the bell. So please don't buy those. The supermarket ones, those plastic ones, I've seen them in loads of the supermarkets. They've got a seam where they've been manufactured across the top of the handle and underneath the handle there. That seam, again, is just going to rip your hands every time you're trying to clean it. If you're going to just use it as a weight and just hold it in the front of you, then that's fine. But if you're going to use it like a proper kettlebell, don't buy it. It will just end up as a doorstop somewhere in your house. There's one more thing about the material. Sometimes you get these coated ones and it will say a coated kettlebell, and if the handle's coated, sometimes they chip. And then they get all rough and rugged. Try not to buy those ones. The other thing about the kettlebells, apart from the handles, is to make sure that you're buying the right weight for you. A 2 kilo kettlebell isn't going to do anything. My daughter could probably lift a 2 kilo one. So you need to get a weight that is going to challenge you a little bit to start with. All my clients start on 8 kilos. So I think that's where you should sort of be looking at. If you're just starting out, an 8 kilo kettlebell will be quite sufficient to start with. Then you move up. They go up in 2s, 12s, 14s, 16s, and then they jump to 20. So I think you probably get 18 somewhere, but always buy 2. You can buy them in pairs, which I think is the best way to do it. It's always cheaper and you're getting 2 at the same time. The company that I use are called Wolverson Fitness, and they sell competition bells, they sell Russian bells, they sell them in pairs as well. Always buy a pair because it means you can double the weight. You can add and make that workout a little bit harder. So once you get used to swinging the 8 kilo one around, boom, you've got 2. You can now do double work, you double clean and presses, you can do double front squats. So rather than just squatting with one bell that's 8 kilos, you can now make it 16 kilos. So it just increases the workload so much more. So always buy 2. That is my top tip. They do go rusty if you leave them in a cold, wet, damp, outside area, whatever. So try and keep them inside, look after them, and use them. Don't just leave them as doorstops. So hopefully that was some good information there. If you've got any questions about bells or where to get them or whatever, just give me a shout. I'll leave a little link for Wolverson Fitness as well underneath. That's where I get all mine from. They're trusted like in the industry for good kettlebell and good prices really. They're quite good. Sometimes when you look elsewhere they're just ridiculously expensive. So yeah, that's all. I hope that's useful information. Yeah, see you soon, bye.